Okay, now we can start, Jitin. I have already sent.
Yeah, okay. So, basically, the way we will go in this phase is basically we just want to thank all our subscribers who have been with us for various periods of time, some even more than 5 years. Uh, and it's more like a family, and it gives us a tremendous job satisfaction and gladdens our heart when we read your messages. And we feel happy that in some small way we have been able to touch so many people's lives. So extremely grateful for all the messages you have sent us, and uh, uh, basically continue to shower your love on us. uh, so uh, we in August we stopped taking new subscribers for this value investing research service, which is on our website. And this month we said that we will stop the services for this uh, in December 2025. We wanted to be transparent. We have always been transparent. We wanted to be transparent with our subscribers, give them enough time uh, to basically adjust to this new reality. Uh, and 28 months is sufficiently long time for everybody to plan. Uh, Having said that, it was one of the most difficult decisions we have had to take. I've had to take, and Nitin also had to take, because very rarely you find uh, a situation where the clients are happy and the provider is happy doing what they are doing. So I mean, there was really it was very very difficult for us to basically do what we are doing. But there we have our reasons why we wanted to do this. Now I don't know how many of you follow uh, the regulations which are happening uh, for the RA and RIA services. Uh, the regulator intentions are, I mean, very good. I mean, we all know, how we were getting troubled, all of us. I mean, even RA were not spared by, this spurious people and calls from Indore and Rajkot and so on. It was a menace, and a lot of people got scammed by these unregistered, uh, scamsters. And I think the regulator cracked the whip, brought in a lot of regulations, and that menace has reduced a lot, to be honest. So that is definitely some good work done by the regulator. Uh, and the regulator's intention is obviously to protect investors, and so they have been able to reduce that particular scam uh, quite a bit. But what has happened is, in doing so, there have been just so many regulations, and that it has become very very difficult for people like us to manage that. And new regulations keep coming in. And so at certain point in time, since ours is just, we provide research, we do not, manage anybody's money. We do not, advise on allocation. And so for us, for a simple service like us, these regulations is basically shackling us a bit. It's becoming very difficult for us to cope with that. I mean, there are some consultation papers where I think fee collection method can be changed in the future, and so many things are happening. And once again, I want to say that all this is being done by the regulator to protect small investors. Uh, so that motive is very very good, but the regulations sometimes for becomes a bit difficult for us to cope with. And see, the primary thing we like to do is research, and we don't want to get bogged out by doing only compliance. Then we will not be able to give justice to research, and that is the reason we first stopped taking new subscribers, and then we decided that we will have a glide path to end these services. So that is the reason. There is no other reason as such. Uh, I mean, incidentally, what has happened is also, I think uh, markets have been at high also. I mean, that also, basically prompted us to not take new subscribers so that, uh, uh, I think if people put new money at these times, there could be heartburn for a while and so on if market corrects and all. So we wanted to avoid that. Though you also have to understand that the subscriber interest is highest at this point in time. I distinctly remember January, February, March when markets were down, subscriber interest was low. I mean, and now when the markets are very high, the subscriber interest is very high. So, but we've always been guided by some principles where we always want to keep customer first, and so we thought it prudent not to basically encourage subscriber joining at this point in time. So we stopped in August for that. Uh, Having said that, I mean, we've also said that we are not negative on the Indian markets as such over the long term. So we continue to remain positive on the Indian markets. It's just that we need to be very, very careful on what stocks we select, and it's opportunities will always be there in all markets. Uh, they can get a bit fewer. Uh, just excuse me. They can get a bit fewer, but opportunities will be there, and it is the job of the uh, uh, research analyst to unearth whatever opportunities are there. So it's not that we will not find opportunities, and we have also tried to calibrate a portfolio. I mean, previously the share of small caps in the number of stocks which we have in the list was much higher than what it is now. So we keep on doing these calibrations when we see higher risk and so on. So that is in a nutshell why we have given this glide path towards December 2025. Again, if things in the future, if things were to simplify, and there are set of regulations which are easier to follow, and this thing, then there could be some change. I mean, it's not that we are closing down Aurum Capital, or there is anything wrong between me and Nitin. Absolutely nothing of that sort. So, in the future, we might do something else also, in the sense that, it could be PMS, AIF. We don't know. We have still not decided what we want to do, but it could be something like that. And that will be done by me and Nitin together, even if we do that. So that's what I want to clear these doubts also, that if there is anything, this thing. See, the reason why me and Nitin make a good team is that we both have the same values, and we believe that's our greatest strength. So absolutely no credence to any of these things, that we are not together or we are not going to be together. Nitin, you can talk about basically
We
what
can
is
start with
some data and all that. Hello.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So see, since the start of our surveys, we have recommended so far 51 stocks, and we have taken 31 exits, and 20 stocks are in live right now. And when we started service, the benchmark that we had kept based on our own, managing our own stock portfolios prior to starting the service, that if we are getting a hit ratio of around 75%, that is 7 to 8 stocks doing well out of 10, will be successful. That was a benchmark that we had kept. If it is coming below that, then we need to evaluate, and if it is going beyond that, of course, it makes us happy. So out of 51 stocks that we recommended so far, 31 exits that we have taken, the negative out of this 50, rather not 51, actually 52 stocks, because there was one stock which got recommended 2 times. We had taken an exit and then we have recommended it again when it came down in our price range based on the value principles that we follow. So 52 stocks that we recommended, we had only 4 negatives. Out of 4 negatives, one is currently in buy, and there are only three, loss that we booked. So it is less than 8%. So we were pretty happy about what we were doing, and of course, the markets were very supportive during last couple of years. However, when we started the service in 2018, and we were primarily focusing on small cap and mid cap, it was a very difficult period, and I remember that during first year, it was extremely difficult. Whenever you are recommending any stock, it will come down, it will be negative. But eventually, when the companies are good and you are buying at the right price, eventually it will come back if it is offering right value and there is a growth possibility. That is the principle we followed, and of course, it worked out quite well that way. Jitin, you want to add?
Yeah, so that is the data on the list of stocks which we had. Nitin, we can directly go to the questions which has been sent to us. So we will take one by one. Some of them could have been answered in our opening comments, but
Sure,
we'll still
sure,
go through
sure.
all the questions. So
Okay.
quite a few of them were like for reasons for closing the service. So somebody asked, is the reason for closing the service related to those consultation paper released by the regulator and making it difficult for you to continue? Uh, so that we have already explained that yes, though we welcome the regulations, we think that the change is too fast and too frequent in the sense that it becomes very difficult for us to basically cope up for that. So one more question which we have already addressed was, are you closing the service due to differences in the partners? Big no. We are together and we will stay together. Your service
Absolutely.
is, next question is, your service is great value to the investors and society in general. Do you think benefits of stopping subscription in terms of compliance, legal cost, reputation risk, or whatever risk you have in mind will outweigh the benefits a subscriber deserve in long run by stopping the service? As I said, it has been very difficult for us. I mean, rarely you will get such a set of subscribers who have imposed their faith with us, and they're there for a long time with us. So, but unfortunately, I mean, the way things are, it is very difficult for us, and that one of the reasons, you know, uh, to stop this, or a guide towards stopping this. Uh, it has been very difficult for us. So what is the exact regulation which is causing distraction leading to this decision? Uh, have you sought the legal opinion and what is the outcome? Is there any way of modifying the terms of service? No, see, everything is regulated, you know, the terms and everything. And we abide by that. So, I mean, it's not that, any one particular regulation. It's not that we don't want to comply this thing. We want to comply, and that's we are very compliant, to be honest. But for us to manage that compliance becomes a bit difficult. That is the reason.
So already there are restrictions on our buying and selling that puts a lot of restrictions on not only us but every research analyst or investment advisor or fund manager for that matter. So there are a lot of restrictions already imposed, and beyond that, on day-to-day operations, it was becoming increasingly difficult to manage the compliance part. So that is one of the motives, main reasons. Though we definitely welcome the regulations because these are much needed. There are a lot of people, those who are unscrupulous, they are making life of common investors, hell. So absolutely needed. But वो बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में गेहूं के साथ दूध पिस जाता है. So something like that will happen, and we will be that collateral damage if you call it that way.
Is there any way, as subscriber, this is a question or a suggestion, is there any way as subscribers we can help you to elevate concerns or try to influence regulations by reaching out to the regulator? I mean, that is something which we have no comment on. I mean, obviously, but then you also, as we said, you also have to look at what the regulator's mandate is, and that is to protect investors. And I mean, we think that they have been quite successful at doing that. So that's that on this particular point. Somebody asked, I'm a small case subscriber too. Will it be the same in terms of subscription? Onboarding new members will be stopped and only existing members will be able to renew, and it will end on December 25. Or is there anything different there? See, you have to understand that small case is a different platform. We have stopped taking new subscribers there also. Okay. There also our service there may end on or before December 2025. And also you have to see that there are only 1 year plans on small case. So it's slightly different in that sense. And also, let's say you have 6 months left. Now there is no way for anybody to extend that if your period is left. So that is how the platform works. So we will go with what is whoever is subscribed for whatever period. I mean, we can say that obviously service will be provided till that period for sure. That is the only thing which we can say right now for small case. Obviously, when we stop, even renewals, we will notify, but that is something for the future. But yes, one thing is clear that that product will also obviously definitely not go beyond the December 2025, which we have said.
Or maybe early, depending on
Exactly.
how it lands. Because as you rightly said, that the products are different, the durations are different, so it will work slightly differently that way.
Yeah. So another question is, say in early 2025 you find value in stocks or markets, will you be able to provide calls at the back of your mind it will play that after December we won't be able to provide direction to subscribers? See, we have to understand that any subscriber or any service for that matter, you get recommendations till you are a subscriber, right? So even now somebody's let's say there till October 2023, obviously they will be part of the platform till only October 2023. At that point in time, whatever the stocks they hold from the list, they have to, if they don't renew, they have to decide what is to be done with them. So, I mean, in that sense, there is obviously there will be no change in the way the thing works till December 2025. Everything will work. Suppose we see opportunity in, let's say, in 2025. To rotate the stocks, and we will keep on doing that, so that you be rest assured that will be there. And what we are also planning is to give a glide path at end of December 2025. So it could be that okay, these are the stocks which are there in the list, you can exit these stocks, the other stocks you can we will provide some glide path as okay, you can look at these particular things and then sell in the future, or something like that. So that we will provide. That is generally not provided for anybody whose subscriber is ending. But here, since the whole service is going to end, we are going to even provide that. So there is nothing which is less in this. In fact, in the end, when your subscription ends, there will be something more which is will be provided in that sense, a glide path sort of. So, Nitin, you want to add anything?
No, absolutely right.
Yeah.
That is definitely there. And as we progress, see, it all works based on the valuations. If we have right valuations, we do not hesitate in recommending the stocks, whether it is small cap, mid cap, large cap. We are not constrained by the market capitalization earlier, and will not be constrained even if we are ending our service. So if we find value, definitely will recommend. If we do not find value, we may not be recommending. We definitely, if we find that valuations are not supportive of the existing stocks, we'll give the exits in those stocks. So we'll continue to give exits in those stocks for sure if we do not find value.
Yeah. Yeah. So that process will not change at all. I mean, in that sense, our focus and everything remains the same. Let's say today we have 20 stocks. Tomorrow we find two stocks, are ripe for exit. There is a possibility that we might give those two exits. Then we just wait. Uh, so then, the client has to decide whether, they want to stay in cash for those two stocks, whatever allocation they have made on their own, or they want to redeploy to the existing stocks or something. That is something, a decision which client anyway makes now also and will do in the future also. But there could be this thing that, instead of 20, there could be, we have given two exits, and then we wait. And if we find something uh, which comes in our value range, we might recommend that. So that time we can deploy, or again do the reallocation based on your risk perspective and so on. So that is something for the subscriber to decide. But then just to say that the focus will not change, the principles will not change, the guiding principles of value investing will not change for us. So
The next question is, who will you recommend after you take over the mental for us retail investors? I do understand that you will not be responsible for their statements. So this question is asked by a couple of subscribers. I would only like to state that that's something out of our scope. We won't be, able to recommend any names. Of course, you'll have to do your homework, find out the right service providers if you want to continue in the similar kind of mode. And there are many, actually, thousands of them are registered with the regulator. So you need to find out the right service providers. Uh, Keep in mind that it works out the way your investment philosophy is. That is the most important thing while you are searching for any service provider. So if you are thinking from the long term perspective and you are selecting someone who is very short term in thinking, it may not work out well. That is only guiding principles I will have in my mind. But I will not be able to recommend any specific service providers because of variety of reasons, and I'm sure that you would understand and appreciate that.
yeah, and again, this is still a long time away. I
Yes,
don't think
yeah,
we
we are
need
there
to
for
worry too
28
much.
months to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
with all
and
of you.
you never know. You never know. In the future, what happens. I will still give a ray of hope to everyone that if things change, then see. I mean, you have to understand that this is something which, again, I want to reiterate. It is not something which we really wanted to do. I mean, we wanted to continue as long as possible, and that remains. And if conditions are such that it is possible to continue, we will continue beyond that also. But as of now, the plan is this, based on the situation which is currently there.
And we wanted to be safe, actually. We wanted to give sufficient time. It should not happen that tomorrow I am closing down and I am giving you 24 hours notice. From tomorrow onwards, nothing will be available. We won't like to do that since all of you are now a family and very close with us. We got such a high respect, love, affection from all of you during this period. We can't leave people in jerk in this way. So we are giving that definite path of 28 months, which is more than sufficient to take action at your end accordingly.
And even, if this service were not to continue beyond December 25, I mean, the thing is that all of us have a bond. Okay. Our education initiatives which we have been doing will continue. I mean, our views will always be available. Generic views on the market, the commentaries will always be available, which we have been doing, and we will continue to do that. I mean, I don't think that is going to change at all. So, and on behavioral aspects, we can obviously we have been, guiding our subscribers, and even non-subscribers over a period through different platforms. That will continue. So that's not going to change at all.
Yeah. Anything
No.
non-stock specific thing will definitely continue. So there is no direct stock name involved. As long as that is there, that condition is meeting, it definitely will be available for sharing. Sharing is always, at no cost from our side. It is always free. We have been following this for last
Yeah.
15 years. We have done several sessions. In Pune, we used to do every month one session, every month free session for investors. And we continued for 10 years. And that will do it in future also. And the same principle, no charges for learning. We learned it from people, from market participants, and they were sharing it at no cost with us. So why should we do that? So we'll continue in the same mode in future as well.
I mean, every few days I go into a space, and if there is any question for me, I will answer that. I've been doing that, and I will continue to do that. Uh,
Yes,
so, whatever I think about markets, about, people ask about sectors, I will answer that. Nitin will also do that, obviously. I mean, we will continue to do that. This is something which we've always believed in, that, sharing is something uh, which helps you the most, rather than the other person. And if it
absolutely.
helps you, then why should we stop? Anyway, now let's come to the
The
next set
next
of
question.
questions.
Yeah, so next
Yeah.
is about future plan. It has been a shock to lose your service. Please let us know if you plan to launch another service to help us. So there is no definite plan right now. First of all, we wanted to have a path for the existing service. In the present form, it will not continue. It is very clear. If something new is emerging, we'll definitely come back to you in the same state of offering. Something new is emerging, then we can talk about, or if something else, some other service we can offer, and if it works out, then also we'll inform all of you.
Absolutely. So the
Any
second question
solution
is, yeah,
Any
go
solution
on.
for keeping money invested after end of subscription? A PMS solution would solve this problem. Are you planning to come with PMS in future? As I said, nothing concrete right now. There is no concrete plan, and as and when anything forms up, we'll definitely come back and let you know about it. Is any other advisory service launch after stopping present service? What is your planning after December 2025? We already answered this question, so this question has been asked a couple of times. Strategy for 31st December 2025. Given your view of dearth of good value investing opportunities in mid and small cap space, your services are available till 31st December 25, which is a long time from now. What investment strategies will you focus on? So it evolves actually. So if you see earlier, when we had good opportunities available in small cap, especially after the correction in the market, especially in small cap stocks in 2018, we had recommended a lot of small cap stocks. But gradually we realized that the valuations are, especially off late, I would say last couple of months, the valuations were not getting justified, and it was becoming increasingly difficult, and risk reward were not favorable. So we started focusing on large caps and mid caps also. So if you see earlier, when our list of stocks, 20 stocks, predominantly they were small cap. But today, if you see out of 20 stocks, we have 6 large cap stocks, 6 mid cap stock, and 8 small cap stock. So if I look at in terms of percentage of out of 20 stocks, 30% are large cap, 30% are mid cap, and 40% are small cap. So this constituent completely got changed. So it will evolve over a period of time as the opportunities emerge. It is not going to be constant, and we can't say at this point of time how it is going to be. The market is dynamic. These things will change and evolve.
Yeah. See, this continuous calibration process is always there. I mean, we always, on the back of our mind, the first thing we look at is, ये कितना गिर सकता है, that is what we first look at, and then we think about what returns we can get and all that. So there is inherent, basically, margin of safety which we look at and so on. So now, but can the list of stocks which you have fall? Yes, if market corrects, they can fall. But our endeavor is that it should not fall more than the market, or it should fall lesser than the market. That is has been our endeavor. And in the last more than 5 years, we've had correction many times. And somehow, even in these corrections, you know, the list of falling stocks has been lesser, and the percentage which they fall have been lesser than the market, is what we've been able to achieve. And we will try doing that in the future. I mean, obviously there is no guarantee about that happening, but that is going to be our endeavor. Next question. Small caps and mid caps have run up a lot. So will Aurum reduce the exposure to them, or like being on cash, or we have to decide personally? That we've answered before also. I mean, any cash call or something is to be taken by subscriber. We will just provide the list of stocks with range, and that's all we will provide. Any cash call to be taken in individual stocks or at their own portfolio level or something has to be decided by the subscribers. We have absolutely no say in that. And regarding the constituents, the calibration is an ongoing process, as Nitin has already explained. We have already changed the calibration, the weightage towards. I mean, probably I remember, some time back we had only maybe 1 or 2 large caps, and now we have 6. So that process is always there. We are constantly thinking how we can, mitigate the risk and so on. So that is something which always inherently keeps on happening, and that we can say that it will keep on happening. Let's go to the next set of questions.
Yeah, current Indian market. So about the valuation of Indian markets, the question is about the current valuations of Indian markets.
Yeah. So yes, see, we have been quite vocal and said that there is a lot of froth in a lot of pockets, and fortunately we have tried to stay away from that froth, and but at the same time we always say that in all markets there will be opportunities. So it's not right to paint a wide brush and say that the markets are expensive. Yes, the markets are in general are expensive, but there will always be pockets of stocks and sectors which nobody is looking at, which are out of favor, where there could be some temporary headwinds and so on. So that is what we try to focus on. We have a contrarian bend of mind. So that's what we always are always on the hunt for, and even in these markets, we are sure that we'll be able to find opportunities. So I don't think that is a worry. It's just that painting everything with the same bracket might not be right. But yes, the fact is that a larger percentage of stocks in small and mid caps, we believe, are in overvaluation zone. Now, the thing for us to do is not go there, and there will be certain percentage, though minority, there will be certain percentage of stocks and sectors which are neglected, which have decent valuations. So we will look there. I mean, that's it. That universe has been shrinking. That is something which we have said, but it's not that it's non-existent. It never is. So it becomes a bit more difficult for us to find. But yes, that is the job of a research analyst to look there.
Okay. The
Uh,
next question is again linked with the previous ones. Are your views on current valuations of Nifty? Are we in euphoria? Discuss regarding yield, inflation, weak rupee, and crude.
so again, see. There will be macro conditions which will always be there. Macro indicators will always be there, and I've never seen perfect macros playing out. I mean, there will be something wrong here, something wrong there. Something or the other will always be wrong. If we focus too much on macros, I mean, we need to have general sense. Like we had the sense of that U.S. is going to have inflation and might go in recession, or the rise of interest rates, slowing down of US economy or recession. So we stayed away from IT. So that broad level call we will take, and we do take, and so on. Uh, but at the same time, what is more important is to focus on individual stocks. Uh, so we always say that if you look at the index, then it becomes very very difficult. Our constituent of the list of stocks is not from the index. So why we should worry too much about the Nifty? What we should look at is uh, what the valuation of our stocks are, and what valuations they are trading at. What is their prospects in the future? What is the growth trajectory? What are their valuations? That are more important questions to answer, rather than trying to predict what the Nifty will be and where is crude. Now, when crude goes up, yes, there will be something like that. So, for example, we had IOC, which we had taken as a defensive bet, but when we saw that crude inching up, and also kind of we took a call that maybe near the elections there could be a case where the government might reduce the fuel rates, or it's just something which we think can happen. uh, so then their marketing margins might go down in the future, so we took a call to exit. So those kind of calls we will take depending on certain macros and all that. But in general, uh, we must not look at macros too much, though we should be aware of the broader trends. But the more focus more should be on individual stocks and their valuations and their business prospects, is what we always believe in. Nitin,
Perfect.
there are some
Okay. Yeah.
industry-specific questions.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
I'm coming.
we can take that maybe later if you have time. But let's ask any of our subscribers if they want to ask a question. Then maybe we can
Yeah.
just
We have a couple of minutes, so we can do that. We can do
yeah.
that. Uh,
So
so if
either
subscribers
they
have any
can,
questions, yeah.
yeah, they can also yeah. Actually, most of the subscribers have actually already sent us the questions as such. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Correct.
yeah. So there are two requests, Nitin.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah. I
me
can
see.
see that. I just approving.
One is Hardik. He wants to ask
Yeah.
something, so I am approving him.
I
Uh,
approve, Hardik.
yeah,
And
but
I,
just
yeah.
to say that no stock specific questions we will answer. Uh, uh,
Yeah,
so
Hardik, go
Hardik,
ahead.
please unmute yourself and go ahead.
Your views on power sector going from here on, as you have said that you will not answer the stock specific. Otherwise, I was going to ask for stocks only. But
No, no,
No.
Hardik.
Stocks,
No, no, Hardik.
stocks.
If you are subscriber, then you can ask the questions related with industry or related with stocks in our investor forum, or through email. We would prefer that way. If you have any questions specific to the services that we are offering, then we'll be able to answer that. That will be a better way right now.
okay, okay. I have not subscribed. I just joined first time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I am approving now, Puneet. Yeah, Puneet, you can speak now.
Regarding your view on PSU, I don't know whether this space is specifically regarding the services only. If not, my question is regarding your view on PSU and infrastructure, because you were very early on in terms of sporting the trend in that the under valuation were really cheap in PSUs, and the valuation now have the valuation gap between, say, any private sector company and a PSU has come down a lot. So your view, like, will it shrink further?
Puneet, so very short answer for this. We continue to be positive on both the sectors. We have recommendations from the sectors. One. Second is there can be stocks which are overvalued, and if that is the case, then one will have to take a call accordingly. But still, we are very positive on these sectors.
Yeah, so Nitin, I will like to add, there are
Hmm.
certain species in PSUs where we think there is overvaluation. So again, you will have to, take stock specific, approach. Specifically, I think defense railways is something which I don't think I will be comfortable with the valuations which are there currently. A lot of stocks, not everything, obviously, but a lot of stocks there, valuations might not be favorable. So next is Chandrasekhar Patil. Can you please? We
Hello,
have.
sir. Actually, I just want to ask you that if a market goes down like a 30-40% next few months, will you start a fresh subscription?
No,
No, no,
I no.
no,
We
no.
have
So,
decided no, that is not going to happen. We have closed the new subscription this thing, and we have given a path that December 2025. We now there is no question of starting subscription again in the current form. That is for sure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So
I think no more
any
questions. So
yeah,
we can uh, just continue
take
now.
the
We
industry
can,
specific. No,
yeah.
the industry specific questions were there. 3 or 4 sectors people have asked for that subscribers.
Okay,
So we will
okay.
answer that. Yeah.
So
So
first one
one
was about
was
PSU banks only, which we have just now answered related with PSU. Please share view about PSU banks in today's session.
yeah. So I mean we already have 2 recommendations in PSU banks, and we've already had 2 exits in the past, if I remember correctly, uh, for this value investing research services. And both the exits have been very fruitful, and both the current investments have also been very fruitful. So this is a sector where we have done well, and we continue to stay positive on select. There are some smaller PSU banks where valuations are absolutely out of whack. In fact, I had tweeted today about a comparison between uh, 2 banks. Obviously, I didn't name them, but just to show the difference, and one particular stock where the float is so low that it has been taken to book value of almost 4, which is not justified for a PSU according to me. I mean, I can be wrong, but I mean, we have been tracking a lot of these stocks for very, very long time, and we think that these kind of valuations are not justified for that particular bank and so on. So stock specific one has to be, but overall there are still opportunities in that sector. We continue to stay invested in the ones we have. Next is real estate and cement. Yes, real estate, we have investment. We continue to remain positive. We were able to, basically get the cycle right in real estate and even in cement. And we continue to remain positive on that. Again, in this particular market, anything I say, you can't take a broad view across the sector, because even in these sectors there will be pockets of overvaluation. So one has to be extremely stock specific. So we have recommendations here, and we continue to remain positive on that. Same is with sugar. I think sugar sector can do well. It has become far less cyclical. I have been saying that for some time now than what it was
Absolutely.
before. Uh,
Absolutely.
the government, I mean, one must give credit where it is due. The government has done a fantastic job in that sector. Uh, I think uh, 7, 8 years, 9 years back, everybody remembers, the outstanding dues to farmers, and there was a lot of heartburn. Government had to come out in support, and mills didn't used to pay. Mills were bleeding, farmers were not getting paid, and all these problems were there in the sugar sector, which has almost vanished now. With the ethanol blending program by the government, has been a huge success, and they have done a tremendous job and reduced the cyclicality. Excuse me, sorry, in the sector. So cyclicality has reduced a lot, and this year the crop will be lower, so sugar prices should go up. Now we have to see, how much will the government let it go up. So government has been very supportive in periods and there have been, uh, overcapacity. They have had MSVs. In these periods where there could be some, reduced output, they could have a cap on pricing, so something like that. But still, we think that this sector can do well, though prices, since next year being election year, prices of sugar will not go up that much. I mean, government will obviously try to regulate a bit. So we have to, basically understand this thing. Overall, we still remain positive. Now there is one last question, which is there are certain unloved sectors in the market such as textiles, pharma, etc., and microfinance to a certain extent. Would like to understand the view. So textile is something which, I mean, we do like, because there is some structural changes which has happened. Uh, India is being favored a bit in textiles now, but there has been tremendous destocking in US and Europe and so on. But we think that, once the destocking is over, I think these companies can do well. Again, cotton prices and all that we have to see. But the point is that, the stocks which we like, they are not showing any correction. In fact, they have gone up. I mean, which we think is unjustified for the present time they are in, and for the results which they will show. So though we like a couple of companies, we don't like the valuations at all. So that's the reason we have kind of stayed away. We will never chase stocks and buy when we don't see too much margin of safety and we don't see valuations in our favor. Pharma, I think we already have, recommendations in pharma. We also have recommendations in pharma ancillaries. As such, we think that the sector can do well. Again, one has to be stock specific. So with this, I think all questions have been answered.
Yeah.
Which our subscribers have posted to us. And I think the time is also gone beyond 1 hour now. So maybe another few minutes at the most.
Or otherwise, if you have questions, you can post it to us. And relate with industry or any stock that is under coverage in our investor forum. And
so anything exactly. So anything sector specific or stocks under coverage, subscribers can obviously send those questions in the investor forum. So we will note that. Anything regarding the the service, if there is any question, or everything is understood by everybody, then it's fine. But if there's any particular question regarding that we can take. So we'll wait for just 2 minutes at the most.
Sure.
Or if any subscribers wants to speak anything, then also they are welcome.
I think, Jitubhai, we can disconnect now. Thank you all for joining this space session. Look forward for your continued support. Having a good time. Thank you so much. Bye.